Hi, welcome to the X Glam Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I know there are a lot of choices out there, and you're hanging out with me here at the X Glam Gab channel, where I do a little bit of glam and a little bit of gab, and it has been a while. I am just fresh back from vacation. I think it's been like almost a month since I've uploaded. I think that might be the longest I've gone dark. That's what we used to say in TV land. When we weren't taping, we'd go dark. It was the only time we really knew we had off. Anyway, welcome back. Welcome back to all of us. I hope everyone's having a fantastic summer. I certainly am. I'm digging back into the life in Sweden. You know, it was really weird to come back from vacation and like have to talk to people that weren't in my family. There's something to be said about hanging out with family. Right? Every single day. We shouldn't take it for granted. It was so wonderful. But I'm glad to be back, see the friends, see the colleagues, you know, get back to the grind. It's inevitable. It's inevitable to get back to the grind. So I was like, what should I do? What should I do for my first video back? Believe it or not, I had incredible restraint on this vacation. I guess I'll just start with like, we're going in, we're going to get ready. I'm going to do a get ready with me. So let's just do a little spray here. I'm going to use some Rhode products. If you've been tracking my channel, I have invested in Rhode significantly in the past couple of months. I've been like really, you know, using the products, liking most of them, but I'm starting to find, you know, like, I guess when you peel the onion, you know, you get all the layers. I'm starting to peel back the Rhode layers and taking a step back and finding my favorites and finding the ones that I probably wouldn't buy again, that I won't buy again. But, that said, I do have a few new Rhode products to show that showed up on my vacation, in my vacation mailbox, because I mailed them home to myself, and we are going to use them. But yeah, but Andrade showed incredible restraint. Besides the products that were waiting for me when I got on vacation and picked up from my vacation mailbox, I didn't really buy anything. And I went to the store. It's not like I was completely on an island. Completely. I went and I checked out the CVS's, I checked out the Walmarts. I didn't go to Target though. Anyway, I didn't buy a lot. I'll show you what I did buy. Why don't we do that off the top? Why don't we do that off the top? Because I said I was going to do this, and I did, if you're tracking my channel. I'm a pretty big fan of this Photo Ready Revlon Lip Blurring Lip Liner. I have it in the shade Lazy. Really, really, really like it. So I thought, why don't I pick up a lighter shade? So I picked up the shade Dewy, and to match it, I used it a little bit on vacay. To be honest, I just mainly did my skincare and sunscreen, like I said I would, like I do every summer. It's like, it's hard for me to put on makeup in the summer unless I have to go to work. Then I got to cover up the imperfections in some fashion. So, and it's fun to sit at my glam station and do it. So another thing that I wanted to purchase on vacation that I was really, really liking, that I bought, I can't remember if I bought it in Vegas or Florida this year on those vacations, but this from the Yummy collection from CoverGirl, it's a blurring sort of lip balm. I've really used quite a bit of this one. It's in the shade Peach Perfect. I don't know, something like that. So I picked up another shade again. I went for a lighter combo from the sort of like deeper combo that I already had. And this is the shade Blurring Pink. And you know, it's not really like that pinky, but I don't know. That's what I bought. That's it. That's all I bought. I bought the Photo Ready, and I bought the lip blur, both blurring products, because I'm still into the blurring. What was waiting for me in the mail from Rhode? I'm getting to it. You better buckle up, because it might be a comeback video of all comeback videos. I bought the new Rhode Highlight Milk Luminator. It's supposed to be a multi-purpose luminizer. And I think I totally like jumped the gun, knee jerk as usual, on some of these new drops that come out from brands that I'm tracking, because I know I'm not like a luminizer type of gal. And I think it's, you know, just that, you know, Gen X sort of skin that I have, the vintage skin. I'm not sure luminizers are the best for us. With our Gen X skin, but please weigh in the comments. What do you think? I think most of you, you know, in my demographic are going to say, yeah, we're past the luminizing stage. Yeah, it's just, I don't even like to put it on. I don't even like to put it on with my hands, as opposed to the glazing milk. This is great because this has got essence in it. It's a really nice, hydrating, milky product. I dig me some essence. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and start my routine by putting it on and let it sit for a minute. And then I'm going to go in with the Rhode serum because that I'm really, really happy with this combo in terms of skin prep. And then letting those sit and then coming on with a with one of my favorite sort of face moisturizers. So let's just let that sit. Wow, I got some instant color. It's because maybe I was a little bit rough, but let me tell you, I did a triple cleanse this morning. I did a melting balm because I had a little bit of makeup on. I went and got my nails done and I didn't want to go completely washed out. So when I came back from that, I put on some melting balm, e.l.f. melting balm, my favorite. And then I went in and I used my Fenty sort of all-in-one cleanser. And then you can't beat St. Ives exfoliator in the flavor apricot, and did some exfoliation. And when I was done with all that, oh my gosh, my skin felt so like soft, hydrated. So it's ready to withstand another round. So getting back to the luminizer, I don't even like to put it on my hands because it's like, it gives too many, like, I don't know, lack of a better word, sparkles. So when I put this on this morning, I went ahead and I put it on using a cotton swab. I got the shade 02, shade 02. You're supposed to shake well before applying. I'm just going to put this on. I'm just going to put this over here. It's not, it's nothing. It's not a deep shade. It's just a little bit too illuminizing for me. I don't think so. There's that side with it applied, and we're going to go over to that side. You can see the difference. You can see the shine. You can see the illumination nation going on here. Now, some people say to mix this, cut this with the foundation. I don't know. I could try that. I even brought out a foundation to use in this video, but I'm not exactly sure if I will. Now I haven't put my serum on, so I'm skipping around. But I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference if I put the serum on over that. So just so you can see what I'm getting into, that's what I got into. Kind of a miss for me, and I don't actually know if how I'm going to get through this whole bottle. But I was a sucker. I bought into the trend. New Rhode. I was there for the drop. I gave you a try. Whoopsie daisy. Wow, we almost totally missed. So I'm just going to go in with the Rhode serum. I really, really like this. It's very moisturizing. Going to let this sit, and then I'll think if I want to use, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Man, Charlotte Tilbury over my vacay, they were just dropping all kinds of stuff, like 40% off the entire site, all kinds of things going on. But I even resisted Miss Charlotte because I'm feeling pretty well stocked in my kit, and I just wasn't too tempted. Wasn't too tempted. I'm holding out for that next holy girl product that's just going to really grab me. Speaking of brands and drops and such, e.l.f. yesterday dropped a collab with Bubble. Bubble is such a fun brand. I have a little bit of it. My favorite Bubble product is their Cosmic Milk Hydrating Milky Toner, which I've often ran against the glazing milk from Rhode. The thing that takes this one above the bulbs is that this has the essence in it, and you get me every time when you tell me you're putting essence in your product. Great little molecule that sucks up everything, absorbs everything, that's coming, that comes after it. Another thing I have from Bubble, I have a lip balm, I have the refreshing spray, I have their secret agent, I just love that name, color corrector. So Bubble and e.l.f. have done a collab, and what sold out right away in the collab was a bronzing drop. So what's interesting is e.l.f. gave a lot of runway, I guess, to the packaging of Bubble. So when if you go on e.l.f.'s website and you look at the packaging of this collab, it is definitely leaning more towards Bubble packaging than e.l.f. packaging, but it just looks really fun. There's a serum blush, there's a lip balm, and I feel like there's another product I'm forgetting. All right, so there we go. We got the serum setting in. I'm just gonna there's nothing really to show. I feel like I'm letting down the folks. I did not I don't have a lot to show and tell. I can tell you some stories. Guess what? My luggage got lost once again, but it was on the return, and it wasn't a big deal because I was coming home and I had stuff. And it honestly wouldn't have been a big deal on the outbound because I do keep some stuff at the vacay house in Michigan. And so, in fact, every year I'm squirreling away more and more stuff in hopes, light at the end of the tunnel of when I can finally retire and go back to my Great Lakes state and hang out with you folks more and find myself in sort of retirement mode. But I mean, shoot, these days, man, we can't retire in our 50s. It's basically just looking for a new career, right? But I'm still excited for whatever the next chapter brings. And I do think I'll have more time to expand my presence, to dabble more in the content creator department because I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. I'm honestly secretly jealous of these Gen Zers and even like whatever, the alpha, the youngins coming up. I mean, it's such a double-edged sword because you don't want to get sucked in too much. But I am, I've always been a fan of innovation and technology. And like when the internet came out, I was like, oh my gosh, one day. And I love going to the library, but I was like, I think one day libraries are going to go extinct. The sky seemed to be the limit when the internet launched, and it just keeps evolving. And like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It's like the wild, wild west. You got to be really careful what you're doing, where you're going, who you're trusting. But I just really, I don't know. I'm a fan of the evolving technology. And when I get retired, I'm looking forward to deeper diving. All right, I'm just looking a little, I hate to say the word greasy. This stuff just needs to set in. And then we're going to go and try the new, I guess I misspoke. I do have another Rhode product to share. I went ahead and I bought the pocket bronzer, and it was almost sold out in all the shades. I don't know all the shades. I'm not exactly sure how many there are, 4 or 5. So I ended up getting a deeper shade than I would have wanted. I've got Sunbed. It looks, I don't know. I feel like the packaging looks deeper than like what the actual product is. Let's go here. I used it while on vacay because it was there. Not super big fan of it. And something that I'm going to walk back that I'm also not a super big fan of, I'm opening up my little drawer here, is the peptide lip shade contour. I've tried it in so many ways. I've tried it how Haley uses it. Man, she's got the best skin ever. As sort of like, on the cheeks. Even I've tried it on my eyelids. I've tried it like nose contour area, and I kind of like it for those features. But am I a fan of it on the lips? My problem is it seems to it's not super pigmented. It's very soft, like it blends well, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of staying power. Not that I could ever really get through this whole thing, given my other choices in the kit, but I'm glad I tried it, but I don't think it's like the best bang for your buck when you're considering lip liners out there. I mean, you cannot beat Makeup Forever's. I still fall back on my Makeup Forever, and I'm glad that I have a decent collection of it because Sephora, bless Sephora's heart, one of the good things that I really like, one of the good buys that I made in the past year was buying the Makeup Forever mini carousel kit of like 4, and they're Wherever Caffeine and Anywhere Walnut, something like that. My 2 favorite shades from Makeup Forever lip liners. I mean, I think that and Charlotte Tilbury. This is my favorite Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. This double trouble one, where you've got like a sculpt and a sculpt in a fill line. I really, really like it. I pulled it out, but now I went ahead and put it in that Rhode. I'm just kind of going for a, I don't know, like a fresh, almost bronzy look today. So I did get a little bit bronzed up let's go in and do the fill now. I did get a little bit bronzed up from that pocket bronzer, but it's not my favorite in my kit, right? I'm going to use it. I'm going to keep using it. My favorite in my kit And how do I know it's my favorite? Because I can tell how much of it I've used. It's the Too Faced, but you have to be able to deal with the chocolate scent in the shade Chocolate Mousse. Smells like chocolate. This one's my fave, and I'll tell you, as I said, you can tell it's my fave because how much is left. Not much, not much. I also bought it in chocolate souffle, but I wasn't, the chocolate souffle shade was a little bit too deep for me. So I've really gotten the bang for the buck on this one. But I'll use it. But again, I think it's just like, and so many shades sold out again. I think that there's just so much hype around Rhode, and it is a fantastic brand. I'm just starting to second guess and there's only one way to find out, right? Trial and error. If it's really gets that Gen X stamp of approval in terms of, our vintage skin. And I'm just not convinced. All right. I could stop there and just do a little bit of powder. Although, did I pull out a liquid blush? Oh, I did want to put a little bit of under eye cream on. So let's go in. I'm going in with my e.l.f. Skin, the Bright and Beautiful, because it has a little bit of caffeine in it. So clever. So clever. If anybody pulls the trigger and tests out the Bubble and e.l.f. collab, man, I would love to hear about it. I would. I went on e.l.f.'s website, and the stuff that I would have wanted from the collection is out of stock. I mean, it flew. So I really wanted to try the bronzer collab. I have enough lip balms and honestly blush serums to last me a while. So I wasn't super tempted, but I will keep an eye and try that. If, I don't know, sometimes e.l.f. is weird on these collabs. Once they don't restock. So it's like, you miss out on some, but maybe they will restock this collab, and it will, some of us will get a chance. And I'm usually great. I saw the email. It's not like I saw the email days later. I saw the email probably within 12 hours of when they sent the email announcing the collab. And by the time I got there, those bronzing drops were down to just one shade, and it wasn't this shade. Like, I learned my lesson on this one here. This was, I think, the only shade available when I went in, and maybe there's a reason why. I mean, maybe another shade in these Rhode illuminating, multi-purpose illuminating, milky. They're not calling it a toner. It's a luminizer. It's a liquid, very thin liquid luminizer, maybe a deeper shade, but you can't, for a luminizer, as loomy as I want to go is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I do love this. In terms of luminization. So I think this is just another lesson learned. You find your holy grail and you stick to it. But when does one ever learn all the lessons? Because I'm just a sucker, and I keep going back and trying new things because I can't help myself. It's too much fun. All right, what's next? Oh, so I pulled out my House foundation, House Labs, Housey. I see a lot of people, like, I'm gonna talk about the DCC because if you track my channel, I talk about the DCC, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. They and a lot of I follow several of them, and like in the third season of the America's Sweethearts, now Charlotte Tilbury is their sponsor, so you will catch them using a lot of Charlotte Tilbury, but you will also catch them using the House Labs foundation. And I see other folks and their Get Ready's using, this is a pretty popular foundation. Did it knock my socks off? I use it in the shade 110. When I bought it, I really wanted it to knock my socks off, but it didn't necessarily. But that's because, again, foundation for a Gen Xer, I don't know if it's necessarily our friend. And I say that because our skin is definitely starting to border on the vintage side, right? It just is. Like, we're a step past, before, after the boomers. And man, in today's vernacular, if you're talking about boomers, you're really talking about vintage skin. So I think that Gen Xers, in our heart of hearts, we still are like in that reality bites sort of phase. Like, everything seems like it was just yesterday. But the reality is every day we just get a little bit more vintage. But listen, that's not bad. It's so thin. It's so thin, but yet it gives a very decent coverage. You don't need that much of it. I wouldn't go in with multiple layers of this, but it does give a very light to medium coverage that I can definitely work with on the days that I want to go in with a little bit of a fuller beat. A little bit of underpainting with that Rhode is working in my favor. I'm liking it. It's popping out a little bit from this foundation. It's giving me a little bit of underness. Gonna go in here. I didn't even do any concealer. I pulled out some concealer, but I don't even think I'm gonna go in with it because, like I said, I've already made my appearance in the public for the day. This is just to like get back in the swing of things, hang out with you guys. I really actually wanted, I didn't use any foundation on vacation, shocker, but I do want to use this next week. So this is just like a nice little litmus test on, in the morning when you're getting ready for work. I don't know about you, but I can't afford to make mistakes. I need to get it right. I need to get it right the first time because I just don't have a lot of time to mess around with in the morning to take stuff off and redo it. So thank you for being part of this experiment today because we're going to be using the House Labs. I'm going to be using the House Labs next week. How are we doing? How's it looking? Just a nice little base. This is the side that started off with that luminization. And you know what? I think it is poking through. That is definitely giving a little bit more highlight, if you will, this side of my face. Then this side of my face is looking a little bit matty flatty. But that's okay. That's all right. All right, what are we gonna powder down with? So on vacation, I took my NYX Wonder Snatch, and man, I just opened it up before this video, and there was an explosion in there. It got shook up, I think, because the bag was lost, and so that bag took more than a day to get back to me. It went all around Europe a couple of times. Every time I checked the tracking, it was like rerouting. I'm like, where in the world is my bag? So so I knocked out a little bit in the cover because I do like this a lot. I love this light little pink. I think cherry's in the name, although it makes such a huge mess. I'm just gonna do a little. Is it in my hair? It's in my hair. That's okay. We can shake it out. That's what the, oh my gosh. Sorry for the fairy dust. It's all over the place, but that's what we get here at the X Glam Gab channel. That's just what you come to expect, right? The raw and unfiltered cut of what I am up to. That's nice. That actually took away the shiny glow that we were seeing. That's nice. That's very nice. And in person, it's looking okay too. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side now. Why not even it out? Can I manage to keep it out of my hair though? I love this brush, by the way. This is a Sephora brush. Love it. All right. Just Sephora has been doing, I noticed, I get all the emails. I get all the notifications. I'm signed up for all the spam because of the FOMO in me. And Sephora was doing some great sales over the summer. I don't know what was going on with the brands. I guess they thought that summer was a good time to hit people up. Sales were low. People like me are like, why am I going to put on makeup? I'm going to go out swimming or I'm going to go out pickleballing or something. And I don't want to be sweating through makeup. So the brands, I think, were making a really big push to get some summer business. All right. Sorry, getting a little stiff here. I thought I pulled out a powder blush, but I guess I didn't. Let's just go in the drawer, shall we? Pull out the Charlotte Tilbury palette. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of this. Just get a little bit. That's nice. That's nice. Hey, I used my sunscreen and I didn't get burned. You know, my kids, I notice as they're getting older, they're also being a lot more conscientious about using their sunscreen and actually waiting 15 minutes for it to dry before they go swimming and such. So like, just keep that public service message going with your kiddos and your grandkiddos and your nieces and your nephews and your brothers and your sisters, and just keep driving it home, because eventually these kids will listen. You just have to be consistent. All right, I'm going in with my Charlotte Tilbury lip balm. Pulled this out because I think it matches up super well with that combination of the lip liner that I did. You know, there's another thing I was going to tell you that was happening on vacation that's just so random, and I don't even know what to think of it, but I don't even know why it's worth sharing. What the heck? I'm such a mess. Trees were falling on our little street where we have, you know, our little lake family compound. 2 trees fell down during the 3 weeks that I were there. And they weren't on our property, but they were on the property across the street from us. And it was kind of frightening. The first tree, I had gone, it was like riding a golf cart with some family, and we were going down this little store to whatever, get some snacks. We're like, let's just go to the little store and get some snacks. So we ride, we go to the little store, we come back, not even gone 10 minutes because it's really not that far. And when we came back, this little corner that we go around, boom, full tree. I was like, unbelievable. We just rode through here. And kids are always scooting down the streets, riding their bikes. People are walking up and down this street. It's a dead end street. So it's, thankfully, it's trafficked. It's like through traffic. Anyway, so that was like, So I actually called it in. I found the non-emergency number for the county that I was in, and I called it in so that they, like, I don't know, I felt like I should do it because it was kind of blocking the street where one of our houses is. And then a week and a half later, same side of the street, opposite side of the street, a little bit closer to our driveway, another tree fell. Bigger tree, huger tree. And a minute before it fell, my son saw it fall. He was walking from one end of the street to the other, from one house to the other, with another family member, and they literally saw it fall in front of them. Slow mo. Talk about, like, this gives the word timber a completely new meaning. Totally. So that was a bigger mess. I called it in. The gal remembered me from the week before. I'm like, we need to stop meeting like this. And yeah, but in this case, because it was the second tree that fell was like a full-on tree, and it was a part of I don't know why I'm going like this. It was a 4-tree cluster. Okay, so one of the 4 trees fell, and you could tell it was like really rotted out at the base, and so this caused a panic for the people whose property the tree was on, because there's 3 more trees coming out of it, and like 2 of them, if they were to fall the other way, would have like completely crushed their house, and the 3rd tree, no matter which way it falls, is going to take out some power lines. So we did a community effort, got some saws out there, and by the time the county came to check it out, we had already cleared the road. But yeah, the next morning, bet you for sure, the folks that had the 4-tree cluster on their property had somebody out there taking down the tree, which was really sad. It took them all day. Well, taking down the tree, there were 3 trees to take down. So what's the moral of this story? There really isn't one, other than I was thinking, like, I don't know, I just got a little apocalyptic in my thoughts when I was like, what if, I'm going in with the CoverGirl. I like this CoverGirl, like skinned. It's CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer. It's like a baked bronzer. And like I said at the top of this, we're going for like a bronzy look. I just thought to myself, what if like trees just around the world started falling down at the same time? I mean, think of the catastrophe that could cause, and damage to life and limb. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. Thanks for hanging out with me on this crazy train video. Gotta get back in the swing of things somehow, someplace, sometime, and that's what we did. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.